take this opportunity to introduce our great Chancellor, Matthew Goldstein.
Thank you, Antonio, and thank you to your very able staff in putting together this event so quickly. We deeply appreciate it, and of course it's always wonderful to be in the presence of our very distinguished mayor. I'd like to take us back about 3 years ago. The mayor and I had a long and involved conversation about the status of community colleges, not necessarily here in New York City, but nationally. And I talked with him about the problems that are systemic in community colleges around the country. These are hardworking faculty, some of our most talented faculty. 45% of the students going to a college or a university in the United States, and I learned that from President Gail Mello of LaGuardia Community College, 45% of them study at a community college. And the problem that we have is that too few graduate, and those that do graduate much longer than we would like to see them accomplish that goal. And I spoke to the mayor about this problem, and I indicated that we believe that we have a new model that we would like to try out, and if successful, it would serve as a true paradigm shift in the manner in which students engage with a community college. And as this mayor does, it's very intense questioning and asking very good questions. And at the end of that exchange, Mayor Bloomberg provided $20 million to start a program which we affectionately refer to as ASAP, Accelerated Study of Academic Programs. And I said to the mayor that while the graduation rates at community colleges are approximately 20 to 23% nationally, after 3 years, remember this is a 2-year program, we believe that the ASAP will graduate about 50% in that same amount of time. And with the very able assistance of Dean John Mogilescu and Tracy Mead and others here at the central administration, we are going to get back to the mayor and show that we are going to succeed well over 50% of the students graduating in 3 years. That is going to be a true paradigm shift. And to take those ideas that we've learned through ASAP, which we could never have implemented if it were not for this mayor, we hope to be able to extrapolate that experience into a new community college that we believe will get national attention and certainly consistent with what we're hearing out of the administration in Washington. But this is the very first elected official that came out, and this is our mayor, came out 3 years ago and said, community colleges are important, and we have to do something to get these graduation rates up because a degree matters. So, Mr. Mayor, thank you for that vote of confidence, and thank you for doing it. It's my pleasure to introduce one of our ASAP students. Ebony Childs is a student here at BMCC. She is a Phi Theta Kappa student, which is the Honors Association. So, Ebony, I call on you to introduce our mayor.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Ebony Childs, and I am a proud student at the Borough of Manhattan Community College, BMCC. My education pathway to this community college has not been easy. After receiving my GED, I needed a new beginning. So I started at a community college that had the right motto for my circumstances. Start here, go anywhere. At BMCC, I was fortunate to be accepted into the ASAP program. The program is funded and supported by Mayor Michael Bloomberg. For those of you who may not know, the ASAP program stands for Accelerated Study and Associate Programs. But I know when CUNY was thinking of the name for the program, they really meant as soon as possible. So I have put both the college's mantra and the intent of the ASAP program to be my driving force, that I should start here, go anywhere, as soon as possible. This community college and this program may seem to rush students to graduation, but it is not without support, guidance, and opportunities to ensure that we have a successful future. The support from the ASAP program comes in the form of assistance with tuition, books, and transportation. Guidance to all students is provided by faculty, advisors, and counselors who not only prepare us for college and the world of work, but they support us as well. The opportunities at community colleges are remarkable. Aside from being in the Honor Society Phi Theta Kappa, this summer, I have explored transferring to a four-year college by attending classes for free at Vassar College upstate. And another great opportunity from being a community college student is that I have been selected to be a Kaplan Scholar, which means that the Kaplan Educational Foundation will not only assist me in the transition to a four-year college, they will also provide support for me as I pursue my bachelor's degree. So some may consider BMCC to be a large community college of 22,000 students, but we see it as a learning, caring, and supportive family. And now another unbelievable opportunity has presented itself to me, and that is for me to introduce to you today a man to whom I extend my gratitude for the ASAP experience and my appreciation for his support of students who start at community colleges. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the mayor of our great city, the Honorable Mayor Michael R. Bloomberg.
I don't know about most of you, but not only couldn't I speak as well at that age, I still can't speak as well. Ebony, you really are a role model for all of us, and I mean that. And Matt, you talked about this whole program. Somebody at breakfast asked me why I wanted to run for a third term, and I should have just quoted you, because education is the future of our country. It's the future of our state, our city. It is the future of our world. If there's one thing that we should do to help everybody and that addresses virtually all the problems we have, it is making sure that everybody gets the kind of quality education they need to participate in the world, and particularly here in the great American dream. So I'm honored that you'd have me here, and thank you for your kind words. Ebony, I'm told you have a grade average of 3.86. When I was in school, I think my GPA for all 4 years added up to that. Actually, the way I describe my academic record, I was one of those students who made the top half of the class possible. You can always tell how smart a crowd is by how long it takes them to laugh at that joke. This side did much better than that side. Anyways, Antonio and Matt, thank you both for all your work, and all of you who are presidents of the other CUNY colleges. The incredible transformation that's happened at CUNY over the past decade really is one of New York City's great success stories. Matt and Antonio have helped lead the way, but everyone here has been a part of those changes and should really feel very proud of what they have accomplished. I was at a community college graduation about 2 months ago, and close to 1,000 students received their degrees, and I stood there with the president of the college and shook hands with every single one. And I sort of, as they come along, I was wondering, who are they and what they want and what did they expect? And, you know, you can't help but have confidence in the future when you see people who take an opportunity, do the hard work, have a dream, and are going to do something about it. And sadly, not everybody understands that, to a great extent, we are in control of our own destiny. But we do need others to help give us a hand up rather than a hand out. And the hand up that we can, as citizens of this country, as taxpayers, as adults, for the youth, we can give them quality education, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. We've come a long ways, but as we all know, there is certainly more to do. And over the next 4 months, several months, I'll be laying out my vision for New York for the next 4 years. Last week, if you remember, we outlined a plan to improve our mass transit system and expand service to New Yorkers in all 5 boroughs. Today, however, I'd like to speak with you about what I believe and it can be an exciting new era for our community colleges. New York City has the largest urban community college network in the country, with 6 colleges and more than 200,000 students. And we have some of the very best community colleges in the country. Our graduates include Pulitzer Prize winners, famous journalists, successful doctors and executives, and let's not forget the inspiring graduate who everyone's been talking about lately, Sonia Sotomayor's mother. I heard her name mentioned yesterday, it's true. But the very best success stories of community colleges may be coming from the graduates that we see around us every day in this city: firefighters and police officers, nurses and radiologists, computer programmers and electricians. The list goes on and on. Many of them have worked their ways through college, putting in long days and long nights, and many of them did it while at the same time supporting their families. There are a million inspiring stories of community college students who have built a career the old-fashioned way, by earning it. And I would just like to share with you one of them that was brought to my attention. Amina Hakim, sitting right here. You want to stand up and say hello? Yeah. Let me tell you about this young lady. She came to the United States at age 15. You can sit. This will be a long time. I'm going to talk about. It goes on and on. Seriously, she came to the United States at age 15 from Guyana. She had no education. She married at 18 and had her first child, and finally decided she would pursue her education. She found Queensborough Community College and its nursing program, and Amina did so well that you should know she came out with a grade point average of 3.3, and I'm proud to say, just found out yesterday, that she has passed her certification exam. She will begin working at a hospital in September and fulfill her dream of working in healthcare. And I told her earlier, I hope I don't meet her in a professional capacity. But if I need a nurse, I do know that when she looks over the bed, she will be somebody that is very competent and can give me the kind of care that I would like to have. When Amina was asked, when she was asked about what her life would have looked like without community college, she said that she would not have had a chance at an education, and she certainly wouldn't have had any real career opportunities, and she could not have been the role model for her children that she wanted to be. Well, Amina, you are a great role model for your children, and you're certainly a role model for all of us, and so we do nothing but wish you the best, and you should make sure that you remember there were people that helped you on the way up, and I think you have an obligation to help the next generation do exactly the same thing. Community college has changed her life and opened up a new career opportunity she would never have, but she's far from alone. Community college graduates typically earn about 30% more than those who've never moved beyond a high school diploma. That's a major difference, but maybe the difference between having the chance to save a little bit and have the occasional dinner out, or maybe it's the difference between that and having to rely on government assistance to get by. Community colleges are gateways to the middle class, and millions of Americans are working to swing them open. In fact, almost half of all Americans who are pursuing higher education in this whole country are doing so at community colleges. But unfortunately, these critically important institutions haven't always gotten the attention they deserve. But I'm glad to say I think that's beginning to change. 2 weeks ago, President Obama set a goal of graduating 5 million Americans from community colleges by the year 2020. It is an ambitious goal, but I think it is a smart goal because community colleges really do have the power to help more Americans get through this recession and come out with better skills, ready to build new careers in good-paying jobs. New York City can and should lead the way in meeting the president's challenge, and we will. In looking ahead to the next 4 years, I will make the modernization of community colleges a top priority because investing in those who want to invest in their own education and careers is one of the single best ways to promote economic growth and help more New Yorkers earn good-paying jobs and improve their financial security. Today, I'm going to outline what I think is a new approach to our community colleges called Gateway to the Middle Class. Our overarching goal is to increase the number of community college graduates by 40% by the year 2020 and give them the 21st century education and job training skills that they need to survive. I believe we can meet this goal and help the president meet his national goal by pursuing 2 key strategies. First, we're going to refocus our educational efforts on fields where the demand for skilled workers is growing, even in this national recession. And second, we're going to expand access to community colleges and help those that are enrolled stay enrolled. Let me start with the first strategy. The vast majority of students who attend community colleges do so in hopes of improving their job prospects. So we need to make sure that the education we provide to students keeps up with the changing economy and prepares them for careers in growing fields. For example, 2 fields that show particular promise here in New York are healthcare and green jobs. The Department of Labor estimates that there will be more than 500 annual job openings in New York City for licensed nurse practitioners between now and 2014. These jobs start paying salaries of $38,000 to $40,000 annually with opportunities for raises and advancements. We want more New Yorkers to qualify for these jobs, and so we'll give a large pool of students the opportunity to become nurses and give them the most up-to-date clinical training. By graduating, they will not only be doing right by themselves by opening the door to a good-paying job, they'll do right by our city and help us deliver the kind of healthcare services that all of us need. We'll also do more to train community college graduates for green jobs in our growing green economy. Elected officials, as you know, like to talk about creating green jobs, but we're actually doing it here in this city. And I just wanted to give you a couple of examples. We've set a goal, for example, of reducing the amount of energy used by city-owned buildings by 30% by the year 2017. We're also working on legislation that would require privately owned buildings to conduct energy audits and a new green building code that will encourage retrofits. To measure all of this, we're going to need more trained workers to conduct energy audits. And through our Gateway to the Middle Class plan, CUNY will not only prepare the next generation of energy auditors, but also use its own buildings as the ideal laboratory for training students. We expect hundreds of these graduates will be placed directly into private sector jobs, conducting energy audits for residential or commercial buildings, while also helping to improve our air quality and fight global warming. But it's not only healthcare and green jobs. Today's economy also offers more opportunities for small businesses of all kinds. And so we're going to expand education opportunities for aspiring entrepreneurs. As part of our Gateway to the Middle Class plan, every community college will offer courses and training in business planning, marketing, and financial management to those that want to start a small business. Other than becoming a parent, I don't think there's anything more exciting or more challenging than starting a small business. And promoting their growth really is crucial to our city's economic future. Roughly 1 in every 2 people that work in the private sector in this city work for a small business. Small businesses are the backbones of our neighborhoods, and that's why offering a modern business education program to neighborhood residents is one of the best investments that we can make. After all, there's a reason why they are called community colleges, and this is all about strengthening neighborhoods. Modernizing our approach to community college education also means embracing innovative new ideas. And so our Gateway to the Middle Class plan includes a commitment to turn CUNY's idea for a cutting-edge new community college into reality. We envision this to be a 5,000 student campus here in Manhattan. We've already located space at John Jay for an interim site. The Gates Foundation has already given us $500,000 as a grant to study how to go about this, and we've talked to a number of other foundations which are interested in helping support this. It will be the first new two-year institution of higher education to be built in New York City in 37 years, and it will be like no other school in the country. It will only offer majors in fields that are experiencing job growth, such as nursing, surgical technology, disability studies, environmental technology, and green energy services. We'll also help establish a partnership office to build relationships with industry, employers, community organizations, and government agencies, so that the school's curriculum is shaped by those who are already out in the field and who know what graduates need in order to get good-paying jobs. And of course, we'll work with employers so that they can put our graduates on the front line when they're looking to hire. What better source for companies that want to grow than a group of people who've already shown they have the discipline and they have the drive and they have the ambition to learn and to work hard and to be creative. We believe our strategy for modernizing the college's education and career training will help attract more students. But the fact is, too few students who start community college struggle to finish. And that's too many students, who start community college struggle to finish. Matt talked about that. Across the nation, only 20% of students complete a community college degree, a two-year degree, in 3 years. Only 20%. And stretching out a degree over 5 or 10 years not only means lost income, it also means lost opportunities. And that's why the second part of our Gateway 2020 plan is helping more students who are enrolled stay enrolled and graduate more quickly. We began working towards this goal in 2007, as Matt described, when we created the program Ebony talked about, ASAP, Accelerated Study and Associate Programs. ASAP allows students to schedule classes around their jobs, and it gives them the kind of support network that they might find at a four-year college. A lot of students have come to community colleges finding some courses they need to graduate are given only in the morning, some only in the afternoon, and some only in the evening. Well, if you're trying to hold down a job or take care of your family at the same time you're getting an education, that just doesn't compute. And what ASAP has done is guarantee you do all the courses at the period that you sign up for that fits your life. ASAP also gives a lot of counseling and financial aid and does a lot of other things. It really allows students to be able to focus on their jobs. And our goal for ASAP is to see 50% of all participants graduate in 3 years. And so far, without letting the cat out of the bag, Matt, I think it's fair to say this has been a huge success, and we are way ahead of what we had hoped to do. Compared to a group of similar students, ASAP students are taking and earning more credits, achieving higher GPAs, and are already graduating at higher rates, and we intend to build on that success by adding a new class of ASAP participants every year for the next 4 years, and that would give us 2,000 more students like Ebony the chance to earn their degree in a timely fashion and start building new careers in the greatest city in the world. It also allows us to learn more about what it takes to help students succeed, because we don't do everything right. There are things that keep changing. There are always ways to do things better. But here is the ultimate laboratory where you can really see, when you apply yourself, what happens and how we can improve the results. And we can share that then throughout the entire CUNY system. Expanding the ASAP program is really just the beginning of our efforts to help more students stay in community college. We'll also bolster on-campus advertising so that we can provide more support to students in navigating the system, which can be overwhelming. I've heard that from a number of students that I've talked to. They get here and they don't get the kind of guidance that they need. Well, we understand that, and we're going to focus on it and make sure that they do get that. And we'll tackle head-on two of the biggest barriers that students face when they come to community colleges: the cost of books and tuition and the cost of childcare. We'll do that by fighting to lift restrictions on state and federal financial aid so that full and part-time students are not unfairly penalized. We'll also adopt new purchasing programs that will help students save thousands of dollars on their textbook, and we'll double the capacity of each community college to offer on-campus child care. And that's especially important because 2/3 of community college students are women, and many of them are young mothers. Now, mothers and fathers, we don't think, should have to choose between pursuing a career and raising a child. They have to get... And so we're going to help them do both at the same time by expanding the hours and days for childcare and making it available to more children. We want their children to benefit the same way they're going to benefit, and we think we can do that. And as we invest more in our community colleges, we also have to expect more. And that's why part of our Gateway to the Middle Class plan is to hold CUNY accountable for implementing these vital initiatives and ensure they're successful. New York City puts in 1/3 of the money that's spent at community colleges. We have a right, the taxpayers have a right, to make sure that they're getting something for their money, the best we can possibly provide. And I believe we will succeed. And when we do, we'll not only see something like 120,000 more graduates, we'll see 120,000 men and women pursuing more challenging, satisfying, and rewarding careers and improving life for themselves and their family. Now, I know that everyone here within the walls of community colleges like BMCC are stories of determination and resilience. They are not only stories of starting out again, but of starting over, and sometimes even starting again and again and again. Doctors from China who get here by way of Venezuela, who drive cabs while going to LaGuardia Community College so that they can become physicians' assistants here in their new homes. It's really an incredible story of somebody with a dream working their ways up the ladder. Young Iraq War veterans who've seen more than any of us should ever have to endure, who work nights at the airport so they can get their associate degree that will allow them to heal others. And there are stories, all of you know, stories like Amina's and Ebony's. These are stories of determination, of discipline, of desire, and dreams. These really are New York stories brought to us by community colleges. And with your help, all of us together, we can ensure that many, many more of these inspiring success stories come out in the years ahead. The future is in our hands. It's giving that hand up to a bunch of people who have a dream and have the work ethic that we talk about in America. A lot of them are people who've come from around the world, given up everybody they know, their belongings, their language, their culture, coming to New York, a tough place. New York's a meritocracy. New York, everybody gets along pretty much, but they all are ambitious. This is not an easy place to start out, but they come here because they know the opportunity here is greater than any place else. And I'm just proud to be, with you, part of a city that's doing what's right to make sure they get the opportunity they deserve. Thank you very much.